Wait, what? No, we didn't see the other ones then.
Second one.
The second one? Can see. No. My dad's from...
Like from Brazil, I would picture it more like here, very nasal.
Yeah, we are way too nasal.
But this is here.
It's like here. I don't mean to offend anybody, please. Hello. Did you say hey?
Say hello.
You said hello? I swear to God that you said hey. Brazil.
But where in Brazil?
I'm from São Paulo, the ABC region, São Bernardo do Campo in Brazil. What about you?
I'm also from São Paulo, but the countryside that he calls São José do Rio Preto.
We have the same R.
Yeah.
Oh, very different. Brazilian Portuguese varies so much that depending on the region you're at, sometimes you might not even be able to understand what they're saying.
Like not fully at least, because they use different words for different things, like different words for certain things, and sometimes pronunciation is different. Even grammar sometimes is slightly different.
Yeah.
Not grammar, but like I use você, people use tu, or...
Porque se você fala desse jeito, tu, no Rio Grande do Sul, o pessoal vai entender o que você está dizendo. I love you.
Like the R's in Portuguese changes a lot.
A lot, special. I think is the thing that changes the most, or that we can point out easily. Yeah. Ooh, I don't think I've ever actually seen a map of accents.
I only know it.
Yeah. Exactly. Like I'm like, oh, it's around there, it's around here, this part. We're caipira.
We're caipira.
We're for sure. Será fora nossa senhora de...
He's regretting his decision on reacting to Brazilian.
He's like, not you. Stop. I'm actually kind of excited to see the differences because like I do know some, but I know that some of them I'm not going to be able to point out where they're from. Are you confident with it?
No, probably not.
Let's talk about the Brazilian Portuguese varieties. It is spoken by almost all of the 214 million inhabitants of Brazil. Let's hear the beautiful sounds of their language.
A cambaxirra fez seu ninho na garagem. Uma vez, os mais velhos levantaram o voo. Eles queriam arranjar algo de comer para os mais novinhos. E deixaram os pequeninos tudo sozinho. Um tempo depois, o pai cambaxirra tornou a voltar. Que diacho é esse que aconteceu aqui? Disse ele.
That's caipira.
Yeah, that's caipira.
That's caipira for sure. I think that one was caipira, like pretty sure.
Like people say that in my town, so I just...
But cambaxirra?
Because actually caipira is kind of similar to like mineiro and things, so...
I don't think it's mineiro because of the R.
Tornou.
Tornou, comer, that's very caipira. Very caipira.
Certa vez, os mais velhos saíram para conseguir alguma coisa para os filhotes comerem. E deixaram os pequenos sozinhos. Depois de um tempo, papai Rouxinol volta para casa. O que aconteceu aqui? Ele disse. Quem machucou vocês, crianças? Vocês estão aterrorizadas.
That just sounds like São Paulo.
No, but they use the R, not the R.
I'm gonna get everything wrong.
I'm not that confident though. Can you put it again?
Costumava ter seu ninho na garagem. Certa vez, os mais
Yeah,
velhos
that's not-
saíram para conseguir alguma
that's not
coisa para os
Paulista.
filhotes comerem.
I would say it could be like Fluminense or Brazilians. It's not so strong like the Carioca.
Yeah, it's not carioca for sure.
Definitely not Carioca.
I would say Fluminense.
like
The R's and also the S.
if it was Carioca, like we mentioned, we're sure it's not. It would have much more of a sh.
The vocabulary too. Like the first one had cabreiro. Vocês? No.
Fi.
Something like that.
Yeah, which are some words that like we use on very specific regions of Brazil. So that's why it's easier to guess. This last one was a little bit harder though.
Yeah.
I think it's either from like Brasilia or it's Fluminense. Because like I know Brasilia, they also do the
The way this one's written, I feel like it's gonna be carioca.
Yeah.
A curruira costumava ter seu ninho na garagem. Uma vez, os dois mais velhos saíram voando. Eles queriam conseguir algo de comer para os mais novos e deixar os menores sozinhos. Depois de um tempo, o pai curruira volta para casa. O que aconteceu aqui? Ele diz: quem machucou vocês, crianças? Vocês estão todos tremendo.
O que aconteceu aqui? Where do they say like that? It's up, but
Well, this is hard.
I'm not sure. I know for sure it's not from the south, but I don't know from where then.
It's not south for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. I don't know how sertanejo sounds.
Me neither, I'm not, but they do have a strong R just like Aipira. That's tough. But they didn't. They had like a clean R sound. Oh, that's so hard.
We'll circle back to that.
Yeah.
We'll think about that one. I need to listen to all of them and be like, oh, it's written there. It's Fluminense.
Oh, it's
No way.
Wait, what? No, we didn't see the other ones then.
Oh, first one was caipira. Okay, we got that one right.
Okay, the first one is Caipira, we got it right.
Second
The
one.
second one? Can see. Baiano! É? Não.
Não é baiano,
Não é baiano, não.
Play that one again. It's not
Can you play
baiano.
that one again?
It's not baiano.
It's
There is
not
no
baiano.
Certa vez, os mais velhos saíram para conseguir alguma coisa para os filhotes comerem. E deixaram os pequenos
That's
sozinhos.
not
Depois de um
baiano.
tempo, papai
No, it's not
No,
Baiano.
Baiano.
And I can say that. My dad's from Bahia. Their accent is so different. Lower and it's like much more sang, like a song. So they actually talk much more like that. And no.
I think that's somebody from São Paulo
São
try
Paulo.
to speak baiano.
Yeah. Definitely. Nuh-uh.
They should get people from the
place to...
I feel like it's the same guy trying to do the accent.
A carriça costumava ter seu ninho na garagem. Uma vez, todos os mais velhos voaram. Eles queriam conseguir algo de comer e deixaram os pequenos sozinhos. Depois de um tempo, papai Carriça retorna ao lar. O que aconteceu aqui? Ele diz. Quem machucou vocês, crianças? Vocês estão aterrorizados.
I think like they're trying to read way too well because if they were reading the actual accent, it would be so much different.
It wouldn't be that clear.
It wouldn't be that clear. Can you go back on that one, just like the text?
I think there were only like a couple of parts where I can kind of like...
For example, o que aconteceu aqui?
O que aconteceu?
Quem machucou vocês? And they speak very fast and everything like very shortened. That sounds a little bit different than it's actually supposed to sound like.
What I can also tell is like their A's are a little bit brighter than some other accents.
Yes, that's true.
A carriça costumava ter seu ninho na garagem. Uma vez, todos os mais velhos voaram. Eles queriam conseguir algo de comer para seus filhotes e deixaram os pequenos sozinhos. Depois de um tempo, papai Carriça retorna ao lar. O que aconteceu aqui? Ele diz. Quem machucou vocês, crianças? Vocês estão aterrorizados?
There was like 2 words.
Yeah, there were 2 words at most that sounded kind of from the north.
Or maybe I'm just really bad at accents, but for me that the D's was like...
I know I'm not that good with accents either, but there are some.
They're just very...
specific.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's the word. Very recognizable. That,
Ooh, good. That would be Minas, that would be Nordestino, that would be Baiano, that would be from the south. Very, very strong south.
it could be from the north. I would kind of mix up
Yeah.
between them because I haven't visited that much and I can't pinpoint, but they still have like, you can tell that it's from the northeast, for example.
Yeah. Oh, I think it would have been easier if they have like people from the
Yeah.
place. So that would be like, Okay.
A carriça costumava ter seu ninho na garagem. Uma vez, ambos os mais velhos saíram voando. Eles queriam conseguir algo de comer para os mais novos. E deixaram os pequeninos sozinhos. Depois de um tempo, o pai Carriça volta para casa. O que aconteceu aqui?
Ele diz.
Quem machucou vocês, crianças?
Ou vocês estão todos apavorados?
That's so São Paulo. But like not our São Paulo, but like center São Paulo.
Like paulistano.
Very paulistano. The R and the S are so strong. The S is super and the R. That's actually the accent that I hear the most. It's closest to Spanish. Like people hear it and they go like, oh wow, I thought it was a Spanish one because of the R.
A carriça geralmente faz seu ninho na garagem. Uma vez, as mais velhas foram embora voando. Elas queriam pegar algo para os jovens comerem e deixaram os menores sozinhos. Depois de um tempo...
That's carioca.
I read
That's carioca. Estados.
A carriça geralmente faz seu ninho na garagem.
Garagem. Foram embora voando.
It's very, very carioca.
Very recognizable.
When they said vez, I was like,
Vez,
yeah. I love it.
A carriça faz seu ninho na garagem. Uma vez, as carriças adultas tinham voado para fora. Elas tinham ido buscar alguma coisa de comer para suas crias e tinham deixado seus pequenos sozinhos. Depois de algum tempo, o pai Carriça retorna para casa. O que aconteceu aqui? Ele diz. Quem fez mal a vocês, crianças? Todos estão aterrorizados.
That didn't sound like Brasiliense.
To be honest, I can't really pinpoint Brasiliense.
Because like I do have some friends from Brasilia and they sound like Espírito Santo, like it's super clean. It's hard to tell where they're from. But that sounded like they had some Nordestino.
For me, that sounded like they had a little bit of Mineiro. A little bit.
Really? I don't know. I wouldn't say it didn't sound Brasiliense for me.
A corruíra tinha seu ninho na garagem. Uma vez, os mais velhos saíram voando. Eles queriam caçar alguma coisa para os mais novos comer e deixar os pequenos sozinhos. Depois de um tempo, o pai corruíra voltou para casa. O que aconteceu aqui? Ele disse. Quem te machucou, meus filhos? Vocês estão todos assustados.
To be honest, this also sounds like very countryside.
Yeah. I cannot tell if it's the Serra Amazônica because I don't know their accent. But yeah, it does sound very, very from the countryside. I think there was some miswritten ones, like not quite the accent that we know him from. Felt like they were just trying to read all the words completely without the accent in it.
And they didn't say trem at any point.
At any point.
Like, I have a lot of friends from Minas and they always say that.
I know, right? Like, mas esse trem é coisa chata, difícil. O pessoal não sabe decidir as coisas, não sabe colocar os vídeos direito. Right? I mean, I think the ones that we got right, they were like pretty obvious, like Carioca, the Caipira, Minas.
I think it's also hard to pinpoint because even amongst each accent, there are so much variations depending on whether you're from the countryside of that area or from like a bigger city. Because I haven't been to a lot of these places, right? So it's mostly what I've seen on TV or just like a couple of friends. And then it's my information pool is very small.
I've been to a few of those places, so I've heard quite a lot of people talking. That's why like the ones that I pinpointed, I felt the most like, that's not it. That's not it. I think the bigger differences we can see with the R's are the R, H, or R. Yeah, like porta, porta, or porta.
S or Z's, like, is like S, sh, or
Veish, or this.
Also like D's, like where I'm from we say J.
And then the northeast and the north part,
D. T as well.
D and T. So for example, we say bom dia, good morning, and they say bom dia.
Sometimes they shorten words, right? Some parts will say você or just se, or conjugation of verbs too, because sometimes we do it a little bit differently.
Or intonation. I feel that other countries also do have a lot of differences, but it's insane how different Brazil is.
It makes sense because it's a huge country, right? If you go to the States, you also have like many different accents for English, and some are quite hard to understand even.
I do think though that the bigger the country, the bigger the differences we have, especially influence from other countries, because for example in Brazil there are some parts that have more German influence, some parts have more Italian influence, some have more French influence. So our accent changed a lot based on that, while like smaller countries had less of an influence. I might be saying something wrong, but I mean overall.
Oh, that's what we're talking about?
Portugal, of course.
Yeah,
I have heard from Angola too, but surprisingly though, I feel that Brazilian Portuguese is the only one who's like the most different from Portugal. The other ones, they kind of feel Portuguese from Portugal. I'm not sure, I could be saying something wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, that's it. I'm very curious. I think I've only heard like those three, Brazil, Portugal, and
I don't
Angola.
actually get to meet a lot of people that speak Portuguese from other than Brazil.
A sobrelotação deste comboio regional não é o único problema da Comboios de Portugal. Há anos estações envelhecidas e viram com a atualização dos horários algumas das ligações suprimidas. O mesmo
suprimidas
do Oeste. As falhas nas manutenções
do Oeste. It's so different.
I feel like Brazilian Portuguese has more like brighter and clearer sounds.
We pronounce the vowels much
more spaced, I think.
We take longer time to speak the words. For example, it feels like they're always cutting the end of it, or like not pronouncing some of the vowels, or very shortly. West Africa? Oh, Capo Verde.
Ministro de Família e Inclusão Social, na visita hoje para o Conselho de Tarrafal de Santiago, anuncia a criação de primeiro creche municipal e centro de idoso em parceria com a Câmara Municipal.
Wow!
That's so different.
This sounds like a mix of Spanish and Italian.
Yeah. Wow, that's so awkward. In a good way. Like it feels so new.
I feel like if I heard it, I would be like, is it Spanish? Is it Italian? Oh, it's Portuguese. What?
Yeah. Because of exposure, I'm used to understanding Portuguese from Portugal, but I think I have to pay attention to what she's saying to actually to understand what she's saying.
Yeah. If I didn't pay attention, I would think she's speaking like a foreign language.
Yes, it sounds beautiful. I like it. I really do.
I like it a lot. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, can we hear a little bit more?
It really sounds like Italian, dude.
It does, right? I feel like it's more than Spanish Italian. I feel like it feels a mix of Portuguese from Portugal and Italian.
Yeah.
Secretário Civil russo para Presidente da República, Francisco Guterres Lolo, atuveta alteração lei fundo petrolífero também a garantia do investimento de dívida privado de bem macalo russo e empresa público Timor.
Oh my God, that's so hard. Okay, I'll never complain about Portuguese from Portugal anymore. That was so hard.
Right? They speak so fast.
And it feels like they speak like so much like closed. up here is like.
I feel like the placement of the language is different. Like the Portuguese is like really here at the front of the mouth.
Yes. Well, theirs is like here down on the throat.
Like from Brazil, I would picture it more like here, very nasal.
Yeah, we are way too nasal.
But this is here.
It's like here. I don't mean to offend anybody, please.
No, it's just like how I pictured the language coming out of my mouth.
I could understand like only a few words.
I have to really focus.
Had I not known that it was from Timor-Leste, I would think it was like a very specific region in Portugal because they speak very fast, but not really. It's just, it's also hard.
Residências encharcadas, árvores derrubadas e cortes de energia elétrica em algumas zonas da capital. O Manuel André está no município do Quilambaquiaxi, onde uma bacia de retenção transbordou em consequência da chuva e várias casas, tal como já dissemos, estão inundadas.
That's much easier to understand. That's 100%. That flows.
I think that's why I thought that they all had like a much closer to Portugal kind of pronunciation because of Angola. It feels more musical than Portuguese from Portugal, but with the Portuguese from Portugal pronunciation.
I feel like they speak a little bit slower in Portugal.
And more like, there's a flow there.
Eu ainda era pequeno quando ele e o meu irmão trabalhavam na televisão de Santo Tomé, né? Santo Tomé e Príncipe, e eu ia lá espreitar, não é? Ia lá ver como é que se fazia a televisão, e foi nessa altura que eu ganhei algum gosto pela televisão também, né? Por isso é que eu digo que ele também é responsável por tudo isto, né?
E hoje o Jerónimo já é uma referência.
That's so fast too! That's more open than the other one though. It's not so much here.
But somehow I found it harder to understand. It's like I understood like sections of it, and then the other sections I was like, oh, what?
I did understand like the whole context. Do not ask me because I already forgot.
For me, this one was a little bit harder. For some reason, I understood sections.
That's so interesting.
I feel like I didn't know most of these accents.
Me neither.
I don't get exposed to them.
Cool. I really wish I could meet people from like those countries and be together with them like at some point to have a conversation. That would be so interesting, being able to speak in Portuguese with everybody.
I wonder how much of our vocabulary is different. Yes. I imagine a lot.
If we think about Brazil, Portugal, we already have like so many vocabulary that is different. They have like so many also other cultures that we have no contact with. It must be so interesting.
Truly.
For me, the most difficult was from East Timor, so Timor-Leste. I understood only a few words. Overall, I could not. And she spoke so fast and I had to really focus on what she was saying.
For me was that one, and also like St. Thomas and Prince. I would get, because some sections of it, I feel like they would enunciate a little bit more and then I would understand that. But then like towards the end of a sentence, I feel like it would be a little bit more mumbly, and then I would find that hard to understand.
I would have to hear it more times to be able to pinpoint everything, but I would definitely say that they are all kind of close to Portugal compared to us. Their accents, their speed, or how much more pronounced the words are.
I feel like their vowels tend to be a little bit more less bright, how we say it in Portuguese, and sometimes less enunciated versus Brazilian Portuguese.
It was interesting though. Like I wish I could actually see someone and meet someone from each different region to be able to like say, oh my God, that is different. Because sometimes we just don't know. We just realize like while we're talking. You're like, oh my God, you see that?
That would be fun. I think that would be easier as well to compare. But it was very interesting.
It was interesting. So today we compared accents inside of Brazil and Portuguese accents in other countries.
If you liked the video, please like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel.
We'll see you next time.
And if you want to see some exclusive videos, join the World Friends membership.
Bye!